Hello there fellow modellers, Steve here, and it's been quite a while since I made a video. I keep saying this and making ones, and it was about, I think, end of January, beginning of February, sometime like that, maybe it's a bit later, but I thought I would make one now because it's a while since I've did one, and I've got a few kits that's completed and a few kits that I've started. As you can see, well, you're probably about it, I'm a bit hemmed in here because the map room's been shifted about a bit, because later on at the end of this month we're getting the house rewired and everything's sort of up and down, that they've got to have a space to get in underneath the floorboards in the loft anyway. Downstairs will be moved about, so I'm a bit hemmed in here. So I've got a list here of the kits that's due to be reviewed. Now the first one is an FA-18 Hornet. It was a 1/48th scale that I completed, and it's in the markings of one of the test aircraft at the beginning of its career with the Navy and Marine Corps that flew for the weapons trials and the carrier qualifications. But it's right in there, and I'm not going to go round there to try and get the thing out. So on a later video, when everything's back to normal up here, I'll show you it then. But it's completed, so and that's a good kit, but obviously it's Hornet, so I like it anyway. So I'll start off first with the first kit on my list, which is, it's an extra kit, and it's a 1/72nd Gloster Meteor EFI. I'll have to be careful that I don't step on anywhere that'll put my foot through the roof, because that won't do at all. Now I'll do a bit of zooming in here. Right, there it is. I hope you can see it. And it's an FA-18, an FA-18, I'm obsessed with that. An F8 Hornet, come on. An F8 Meteor in Syrian Air Force markings. And this turned out to be quite a good kit to put together, and was very detailed in the undercarriage bays and the cockpit. And there was a bit of discrepancy really about the colours on this, because it was a colour scheme that was on a decal sheet that I got that had Royal Georgian Air Force markings on, what I did for a Meteor for one of Ian Poulton's group builds, and I thought I'll do that. The camouflage was, and I would assume it was sky, well, it's Humbrol 23 underneath, and dark green, and a very light tan, and I tried everywhere to get the right colour scheme for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I showed it to one of the lads at work at the club, and he says, well, I think these were just basic RAF camouflage, so I've just did it dark earth, dark green, and it's come out very well. You can see it on there. I'll zoom in a bit more, not too much. I don't know how long Syria operated these for, and whether they fought against the Israelis. Possibly, they probably would have. So that's the F8 Meteor, and it was an extra kit. And I actually bought it off one of the lads in the club at the show last year. And that was a good kit, that. So that's over there. I'm wondering about on tenterhooks here in case I step through the ceiling. Right, what's next? This is a Mark 1 Escort, and it's the old Airfix kit. Now I did this, I was hoping to do it as one of the pursuit cars out of the original Mad Max, but I painted it when I sprayed it yellow and it just did not work. So I looked on the internet to find ways of removing paint. I tried bleach, didn't work. And this other guy says try Dettol, but be careful because it stinks. And he was right about that, it absolutely pongs. So I got a jar, poured the Dettol in, the chassis went in, and the body went in, left it overnight, brought it out the next day, and some of the paint was off. I had to rub some off, so I put it in again. Put it in again, left it overnight, brought it out, and it was completely paint free. It even went down to the basic grey. So I said that's good. So I've spray painted it. It's like a metallic blue. The inside was done. And the wheels are off a toy sports car, because obviously the wheels on the Escort, original Escort, was just for a normal saloon. This is like a sports car type of thing. And you can't see any, you can see the red seats inside, and what I did was I put a bonnet scoop on there, which is something that's enhances it really. And it's come out really well. And there's the underside. And the engine is really basic. It's not up to much detail, just a basic engine. But I've got some markings to put on. I'm going to put a Union Jack on the top, or a Union flag, sorry. And SO, I've got bits of SO markings and numbers, and to make it look flashy type of thing. And the registration is, I've made it out as SRA 64R. Now that stands for, SRA is for me 3 names that I have: Stephen Robert Alexander, 64 was the year I was born, and R is my surname, Rowell. And if I had a car, I would always want that registration. But I don't have a car, so that's it. It's a stupid thing to think about. Now I've got a vinyl roof, vinyl bumpers. It's the old type bumpers, and just a bit of chrome, bit of sprue, and just made it into a flashy exhaust, and it's worked out fine. I'm quite pleased with that. And I've actually got about 2 or 3 other Airfix kits of the Escort. I might make them, I don't know. So that's the Escort Mark 1. What's next? Sea King, which I did for Ian Poulton's Apollo group build. Hi there, Ian. Looking forward to your next group build. I've got the kit down there. This is the old Airfix SH-3D Sea King, the actual helicopter that picked the first 3 Apollo missions up. 11, 12, and it picked the 13 up, which they didn't go to the moon, but they come back anyway. Now I really liked it. I made this kit when I was a kid, and it's turned out really well. Obviously the colourful markings really enhance it. Oh, there's a big one of these, the original CK Apollo mission recovery ones, and it's made by Hasegawa, and it's 1/48th scale, which will be huge, but I like doing this anyway. So that was for his group build, and that was a fantastic group build, and I really enjoyed that. So that was the Sea King. What next? This, which is something I picked up at one of the lads out of our club. He's opened a model shop, and it's this. which is the Revel 11144 Space Shuttle. There's even one that's 1144 scale, but it's really big, and I've started it already. There's the orbiter, what they call it. See if they'll stand up. Oh, they will. No, they won't. Where's it went? And there's the two rockets with the orbiter. And there's the big fuel tank. They're primed, but they've got to be filled in again because you can see the join there. But that's an ongoing project. It's nothing to be finished with straight away. You're dropping things on the floor. What next? This is something that I picked up at a model show, February I think it was. Where is it? It's a resin of a P40 in the Flying Tigers mode. It's just the nose. I don't know where the propeller is, it's about somewhere, I'm not going to go and find it. And you also get with it a leopard or a cheetah, which by comparison looks absolutely tiny compared to the plane. That's actually the, I'll have to move it a bit. Oh, the cheetah's fell off it, I'll just put it there. That's what it's supposed to look like. You can see the cheetah there. And you also get a fighter pilot with it as well, which is turning out quite good. I like it. There he's there. And let's see if I can paint a bloodshed on his back. Now here's his head. I don't know if you can see that, but me painting faces is terrible. I painted it once with like a little bit black round his eyes and he looked like Robin out of Batman. It was terrible. So I got a couple of tips off some of the lads in the club and they says paint it grey first. So I've tried that, but I've got a, you can't really see up close with that. I'll give you a better demonstration of it when all this is tidied up. But that's how that's going at the moment. What I've got next, it's in a box, so I'm not going to get it out. That's for future reference. Pardon. Something else I've started, which is, where is it? Oh, there it is. Which is a trumpeter, Challenger 2. That's coming out really well, that. It's not quite finished yet, it's got to have a shade. It's black camouflage on with over olive drab, and I've got to put the tracks on and there is some, I don't know what you call them really, where they're released, that they're like, they extend down there and they're covering all the smaller wheels there. But it's a good kit to make. Now I know Stuart Avery, hi there Stuart, he had a bit of bother with this, and he had to put it away because it was terrible. But I've found it just went together okay. I don't know whether he got a bad batch of when they made it, but it's working out okay. Now you don't get any figures with this, but I'm putting it on a diorama, which is, the diorama's an old one I've got, but I'm just using it. And that's what it is. The tank will go there, and it's got a tree in there. Obviously you know that that's a tree because you can see it. There, that's a better view of it. There's an old diorama I had of years ago, and the tank will look pretty sitting there, and I'm going to weather the tank. Not too much, but the grass is, it's not like coarse effect, but it's as though it's grew a bit on a plane, because actually the markings you get for the kit are of the British forces in Kosovo about 1999. So that will work out okay. And here's something else that I'm doing. I think it's Italieri, and it's a MiG 3. And that's what it's meant to look like. You get two choices. There's one which is plain white, and another one which is red and green, but I'm going to do the plain white one. Easy, simple kit to make. And here's the kit I'm doing. Well, it's already been put on his on the Facebook page. This is for Ian Poulton's World War II group build. And it's that, which is it's the old Frog kit, and it's a Northrop P-61 Black Widow, which was a night fighter that operated mainly over the Pacific in the, I think it was the last year and a half of the Second World War. Now this starts on September the 1st and lasts until December the 8th. So hopefully everything should be finished up here by the time I start this. I might try and get another one in. I know I always say this, I'm going to make another one, but I never do. But I'm really going to try and see if I can get two kits in. With it being World War II, I think everybody in the stash has got a hell of a lot of projects or subjects they could do. But I'll try and pick things that you wouldn't really hear of. I mean, everybody would probably pick a Spitfire or something, or maybe it's not, but this is something that's not very well known. And I don't think it was in service for very long after the war ended. Other more advanced types took over the role. But that's what I'm doing for his group build. And I can't think of anything else that I've got going. Just the it's a, well, it actually is, it's a Hankel HE 177. It's the old Airfix kit. But that's in a box somewhere and I'm not going to dig it out. So how long have I been on? As you can see, I'm it's a bit tight in here trying to move about. I haven't got any more kits going. I'll tell you what I did buy, which is fantastic. There's a new airbrush. Because I've had the other ones for about 3 or 4 years, but this one was, it's not really an expensive one, but it's a really good copy, and it's shaped like a pistol, because I find that the other one that has it there, when I'm using it, especially if it doesn't work very well, I tend to get a lot of hard skin there. But I seen this and I thought, that looks okay, and I've tried it, and it flows beautifully, the paint out of the end. But I won't be using any airbrush, not for a while, until all this gets sorted out. And I've got another Hornet, which is a 1144 scale, which is downstairs to be the markings to be put on, and also this one last one which is finished, but it just needs the markings on. I have mentioned this before. It's a V2 rocket that was one of the many things that never got off the drawing board, with a pilot in. So that's finished. Pilot's there. I'll explain it really when I sort all this out, when it's got the markings on. But it's something out of the ordinary that I decided to do, and I thought, yeah, that's okay. So that's it for now. I can do limited stuff up here while all this is a mess. So I look forward to starting that group build, because I'm trying to get all the kits down. I don't want loads, and to find that I go back to it after all this stuff in the house is done. I've got about 4 or 5 kits to finish. I'm going, oh God, no, I can't be bothered with this. So I'm trying to get little done as possible. Most of it is just to shift all the stuff around here. It's a bit of a pain in the arse. Well, my wife thinks it's a pain in the arse anyway, but it's got to be done. So that's it for now. So happy modelling, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye now.